Out there, this is Seto, and today we're with my friend Will, who's going to be profiling for us your Destiny heroes.
My Destiny heroes.
Okay, speak up too.
I've actually been quite a fan of this deck since the anime. I actually love the Destiny hero concept. Hopefully Konami gives us more supports like a Destiny hero Exceed, since Light Sworns can get one right. Anyway, let's get on to the deck profile. I play 2 Shadow Mist. Now, a lot of people do like their 3-ups, but with the monster count normally being lower than 15, 2 Shadow Mist can normally get the job done quite nicely. I play the 1 Bubbleman. For XYZ plays, can go into Acid. And then, of course, 1 Alias, because you gotta be able to run over your opponents. Most Destiny heroes are weenies. And then I personally like the 1 Ocean. He allows you to recycle your heroes, and your opponent will go through a lot of stuff to try to kill him, and sometimes forget that there's a scary Dark Law on board. As for the actual Destiny heroes, I play Triple Diamond Dude. There's a lot of normal spells in the deck. He goes into Dark Law, and he can make stuff like, well, as you'll later see, Destiny Draw, Pot of Duality, So Live. 2 Doom Lords. I originally started testing this guy because I realized my deck can kinda lose to stuff like Crimson Blader, but then when I saw that he was funny against Construct, Dark Arm Dragon, and BLS, that's when he became a 2-of. I personally like the 1 Defender because it protects me from attacks. That if you have him and a certain mask hero who's obviously going to be played in the deck at the same time, that 1 draw card can minus them so bad.
So with Dark Law is what you're saying, if you have Dark Law out and they... Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And then 1 Plasma. I can actually go from quite consistently. He shuts down my opponent's plays, and just being able to take away one of their monsters, regardless, always takes care of a problem for me. I run double Summon a Monk for obvious reasons. A perfect opening play with Shadow Mist, can go into rank 4s if I'm trying to end the game quickly. And then I attack in 1 Dragon.
Okay.
For the spells, obviously Triple Mask Change. You have to see this card if you're trying to run the Mask Hero variant of Destiny heroes. I also play Triple Mass Charge for recycling capabilities.
So why do you run 3 Mass Charge? Because a lot of people say that running 3 in the deck is a little bit too cloggy.
Well, it can be, but with me doing Triple Diamond Dude, I normally just mill one of these out anyway. Additionally, since you kind of go through your extra deck a lot in this build, it's nice that way you can just get your Dark Laws or your Ankies or your Acids back for no reason.
Okay, that makes sense now.
I play double Destiny Draw. You can bump this up to 3, but I personally just felt better with 2 since I didn't have the highest monster count. Double Mass Chain second. I always say this card should not exist. Being able to turn him into a Dark Law for no reason is kind of ridiculous.
What'd you say to me one time? Everybody can be a hero now.
Yep. Double Rhoda searches out your level 4 low warriors. You can search out for a Doom Lord if your hand's feeling a little unhappy. You can just go into Bubbleman, make a rank 4.
So why not 3 Rhoda? Just wondering.
I can normally recycle Shadow Mist pretty easily.
Okay, that makes sense.
Double Pot of Duality. 2's Nurse, normally the perfect number if you decide to run this card. You can bump it up to 3, but I like my special summons a lot. And then the standard double MST. Shouldn't need to explain this, just get rid of back row, don't have to worry about it.
I understand.
And then this is the card that helps with my recycling consistencies, Double Warrior Return Alive. I actually underlooked this card, but it's nice for getting back your Shadow Mist, your Bubbleman, your Dark Law, if for whatever reason you couldn't draw into a mass change. And if nothing else, it's a free pitch with Monk if for whatever reason you're winning convincingly. For For the one-ofs, I play one Hero Lives, one Soul Charge, a Foolish Burial, a Book of Moon. Now, obviously, these cards don't need to be explained. Some people do ask if there's ever problems me running both of these, but Diamond Dude can mill out one, or Summon a Monk can pitch the other. And then if you felt brave enough to run it, you can do Parallel Twister. The trap lineup will better explain this, but I sit on cards like Call the Haunted and whatnot that are also continuous, so it's not always dead. And if nothing else, free pitch, free Diamond Dude.
That makes sense.
For the trap lineup, we do double Fiendish Chain. Now, some people ask me why I wouldn't want to go Breakthrough. The thing is, with Destiny Heroes having low attack, you sort of need your protection. And then, as you saw with Parallel Twister, combos with that.
Okay.
One called the Haunted. I might eventually bump this up to 2, but I've never had yet a reason to ever play more than 1, so that's what's going to stay for now.
That makes sense.
And then I play one Compulsion, one Phoenix Wing Blast. As you saw with some of the recycle cards, they also make this quite lively because I can just grab Shadow Mist or grab a Dead Mass Change, pitch it, not care. And then Compulse is just Compulse.
Okay.
One Bottomless for those pesky monsters that my opponents want to summon that I'm not trying to deal with. And then I like to go Dark Bride, because Dark Bride plus Dark Law just equals a nice combo. You whack a Raigeki, they draw a card, you can banish that card, and you just protected your board.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one thing before you get into the extra deck, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking this. Why is Malicious not in the deck? Now, you told me all why you don't run Destiny Hero Malicious, but what do you feel about the card in the deck?
It's not that Malicious is awful, it's just the fact that you just can't splash it in there. You have to have a deck that's sort of centered around Malicious. You'd have to do Plague Spreaders and Armageddon Knights.
I gotcha. And mainly if you want to do that, then you'd be going to like BLs and things of that nature, correct? So
correct.
Okay. So you want to make more of a pure version of Heroes, I'm guessing?
More or less.
Okay.
For the extra deck, we got triple Dark Law. Now, some people might ask why this isn't at 2. Anki's not bad, it's just the fact that it's like I've never had a need to deal with to end things with more than one Anki, especially since Diamond Dude can kind of mess with my opponent.
Yeah, that
to begin with. Well, more Doomlord than Diamond Dude, but both of them actually make my opponent rage quit sometimes, so we can just say that they're one and the same at that point. One Acid, obviously he combos with Ocean and Bubbleman nicely, just gets rid of back row cards, and well, a 26 beater's never nothing to laugh at either.
Never is.
And then, of course, I play at least one Anki. He can get over monsters that I would have a hard time running over, like Stardust can help me crash into Scrap Dragon. He's actually been a lot better than most people to give him credit for, so I would run at least 1 or 2.
Yep.
And then because I play Alias, I'll do Koga. Now, I actually found out something about Koga last week. Did you know that his lowering of the opponent's attack is actually permanent?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's true.
So that means even if Koga leaves the field for whatever reason, they're still sitting on a weak monster that they'll have to get rid of.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Koga OP, man. Some staple rank 4s, one Castell can blast stuff away that you don't want to have to deal with, shuffles it back into the deck. One Rebellion Dragon, because Destiny Heroes do normally have low attack, being able to run something over Diamond Dude is just amazing to me. And then one Exciton. Sometimes my opponent can get into a fast start and I'm slowing a little slow. I'll just go into Exciton and just wreck everything. And then if I went Diamond Dude before I made him and got a free Destiny, draw a free Mass Change, next turn the advantage is back in my court.
All right.
Now, I normally don't like this card myself, but with Utopia being able to protect Dark Law and me essentially telling my opponent, you must kill my Dark Law 3 times in battle, Utopia can find room in this deck.
So there's a reason for running Utopia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a lot of people overlook this guy, number 52. He's actually pretty amazing. He starts off at 0 attack, so stuff like Bottomless is not going to work on him. And then you can detach one Exceed material. His defense essentially becomes his attack, 3k, and then he goes into 0 defense. You can run over something, and then the best part, you switch into defense at the end of the battle phase. So it's a 3k beater that they can't crash into. Now, the sad part is if he has no material and your opponent attacks into him, he will switch into attack. But for 3k defense, your opponent is normally in a not happy position when he's out of material. And if nothing else, he can stall long enough for plasma fodder. And speaking of plasma fodder, we got a number 101. Take one monster for 101, take another one with plasma, or just take a monster and smack him around with 101. He's perfect. Jagaga Samurai. Now, some people might ask why I like this over Blade Armor Ninja. They both had the same effect, but if there was a monster that I wanted to protect and they want to run it over, Dark Law, Diamond Dude, Doom Lord, I can switch it to defense and say, get over this first.
That makes sense.
And then for OTK pushes, and because Gores is slowly becoming a theme, I like Heroic Champion Excalibur. Pumps him up to 4k so you can Gores me. I'm just going to run him over and not care. And he, along with number 52, Diamond Crab King, is an out to towers.
That's true.
And then finally, Laval Chain, bury your Shadow Mist. You can bury... Actually, I'm going to show you a real nice combo that I've done with Laval Chain before. If you have Diamond Dude, and you have Bubble Man, where are you, Bubbles? You can go into Laval Chain, assuming that you went Diamond Dude first, and let's say you just milled a Rhoda. You can go Laval Chain, bury this, preferably this, then just activate that.
So you can set up for your mass charge play to get your pluses. Oh, okay, so that's what I see. Okay, now I see what you're, okay. And you can easily go into that because you got Summon Amongst, and okay. That makes sense.
So that would also be another reason for running 3 of this. Laval Chain makes it where it's not necessarily dead.
Okay. Do you remember how many cards are in the main deck exactly?
It would be 45 cards in the main deck with a lot of searchers, and then 15 in the extra deck.
Yeah, because you got Rhodas and you got everything else. Okay. So what else would you like to say about the deck?
Other than its random slow starts, as long as you get a good opening hand, I've normally never had a problem with whatever it is I'm facing. This thing can cream Necros if they can't get over Dark Law in like 2 to 3 turns. I almost feel bad for Shaddoll players when I go up against them. I think I've only ever lost to a Shaddoll player once, and that was because I had no monsters for like 10 straight turns, so I guess congratulations.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Will, for your Destiny Hero deck profile. And until next time, guys, take care, everybody.